Welcome to Om's Illegal Igloo, where rules are for suckers and somebody needs a hug. Someone's been vandalizing my store with graffiti. Those darn kids have no respect for their elders nowadays. But selling snow behind Denny's is actually paying off. I've made a whopping 4 diamonds so far, just because I built a snow farm. The whole reason I came to the shopping district today was to pick up some redstone, because it's time to upgrade some of my farms and add some more quality of life stuff around my base. Joker gave me a bunch of redstone, which I highly appreciated. I tried to pay for it, but she wouldn't let me. Now I may or may not have left some diamonds in the payment chest anyway, but it's time to throw a party because gifts are awesome. Rev has been bribing me to join voice chat, since I never join voice chat, but I'm going to use these gifts to decorate my igloo. Now I have the dopest igloo in the whole neighborhood. Ain't no one got nothing on my bling. Like, have you ever seen anything so... That was awesome. What was that? Is that the hammer? I've never seen that before. Like, that's so cool. I want one. I want one so bad. I've never really messed around with the trial chambers or the hammer or like any of that stuff since it's been added. I haven't really been playing survival since then. But this heavy core looks so cool. It's like this tiny solid block. This would make some awesome decoration. What do we need for this? Let's see. We need a breeze rod. That seems simple enough. Best of all, one of my friends found a trial chamber under his base. So let's go pester him and see what it's all about. Oh, that was a beautiful landing. I totally didn't smack my head into the side of his castle. But where is he? He's not here. He said he was here. Oh, there he is. He's up there. Maybe we can knock him off with this breeze fart cloud thing. Let's see. Stay up there. Oh, he flew down. That's so sad. Let's go, boy. Let's go to those trial chambers and get some hammers. Oh, but welcome to the 4th episode of the build comp here in Terra Nova. For this video, we're going to dig some graves for our friends, explore the trial chambers for the very first time, figure out the mechanics behind those and how they work, do some quality of life upgrades, build some farms, and finally get to build it. But since Houdini so rudely left me in the middle of our adventure, I'm going to go ahead and take a peek at what these things are. Now, I am super duper late to the party when it comes to these chambers. I have perused the wiki about them and seen them in creative, but I've never sat down and actually explored them. So we have these vaults with these keys, and the vaults seem to be color coordinated. The orange ones are the bad ones that refresh over time, and then the blue ones are, I believe, player specific, where each player can only open each blue vault one single time. To get the ominous keys, I believe you have to drink an ominous potion. I think that's the only way that you can get the keys is if you have the ominous effect active when you clear a spawner or something along those lines. Not too sure. We're going to figure it out as we go. Oh, Teapot scared me, and I'm so sorry I hit him with my sharpness 5 fire sword. I hope he doesn't die. Oh man. Not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. I have no idea how challenging these chambers actually are. Like, we have these weird status effects just popping out of the sky, like dropping fire or enchantments on you or enchantment effects or whatever. So I'm not sure how overwhelming these can be. These chambers are pretty windy, so you could get snuck up on, and I scared Houdini, snuck up on him. Really, doing this with other players might be more difficult than doing it alone, just from scaring your friends and getting hit by their powerful sword. These slimes could theoretically be overwhelming if there's enough of them. I don't know how many things spawn or even how much poison damage I take from the poison skeletons. Oh, it doesn't seem like that much. Okay, so the poison is negligible. That's good. It's not like a witch or anything like that. Oh, look how many slimes there are in that pit, though. Yeah, so if you fall into the wrong place, it seems that you could be overwhelmed, especially in these slime rooms. These are kind of... Look how many slimes there are down there. That's insane. I might actually die if I fall down in there. And oh no, I got infested, and the silverfish pushed me down in the hole, and now I'm being pushed by slimes. Oh, this is not good. My protection armor is definitely going to be putting in the work here. I really hope that I don't get hungry. At least if I'm healing a little bit, I might be okay. I'm trying not to kill the baby slimes in this process, so that hopefully their hitboxes get in the way from mobs that can actually damage me. I definitely need to kill that poison skeleton though. And really this can't be good for server health. I mean, there's like 200 slimes in this one room. Like, we reached the global mob cap from one single room in here. Like, this is insane. But it doesn't seem to be all that challenging. I mean, this was kind of the worst case scenario, I would think, is that I fall into a pit with like 300 slimes. Now, if you jumped into a trial early on before you had protection, I could definitely see that being very difficult. But it seems like if you kill enough mobs that come from the spawners become empty, stop spawning mobs, and give you some random items. Like that one gave me 4 ominous trial keys, which seems like a lot. I wonder if it's affected by how many players there are in the area with the ominous effect. If you know that or any other details that you would like to share about trial chambers, let me know about it in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Let's open up my very first ominous trial vault thing and see what I get. Ooh, enchanted golden apples are always cool. It's always nice to have more sources of those. And some of this stuff, like the diamond gear, would be okay for early game. If you manage to find one of these trial chambers right as you spawn into the world, you could farm it for a bit for some basic gear. Because also, these chambers are so crazy common. I mean, they're all over the place. But the boys have left their mark, time to give them their share of keys, so hopefully we can all get hammers together. I do like the suspense of opening the vaults. It's very on the edge of your seat, hoping you see a heavy core. Now, we didn't get one, but we did get an armor trim, and I have no idea what these look like. So let's take a quick peek at what the armor trims look like. And I do really like the blue one. The Flow, I think it was called. That one is super duper cool. Now, one of the biggest struggles I actually ran into was losing track of the mobs. Because I kind of just ran through this and let all the mobs spawn, and they ended up kind of spread out. So if I was going to do this again, I would either just clear each spawner one at a time and kill the mobs as they spawn, or I might even go a step further and build like an area around each spawner to keep the mobs trapped. Because it was annoying when they would fall off and wander away, and I had to go track them down. But it seems like the spawners will refresh after 30 minutes of being inactive. So if they're inactive, you just wait 30 minutes and they will start spawning mobs again. And really, they don't spawn too many mobs. Like right there, we cleared that spawner in all of 15 seconds or so. It might also be worth having some chests laying around so that you can constantly drop off your items, because your inventory is going to fill up all the time with slime and non-stackable items, and getting constantly harassed might make it difficult to use shulkers for organization. But I absolutely love that zombies can have trimmed diamond gear. That is so cool to see. And pair that with these crazy status effects getting randomly set on fire and stuff, and I have to say, the trial chambers are a whole lot of fun. Oh, and you can even pick up the diamond gear from the zombies. What? That is so cool. So definitely, trial chambers could be a nice alternative way for early game to get some of your initial enchantments and gear and stuff like that. You know, late game, most of this stuff isn't going to have much value, but for early game, if you manage to find one of these trial chambers right off the bat, you could use it to get your enchantments and some cool arrows and fart clouds and ore and, you know, lots of really useful stuff for early game. But unfortunately for me, that was the last fancy vault, and I did not get a heavy core. I got a bunch of really cool stuff nonetheless, which I need to throw in a few shulker boxes so I can bring it all home. But a phantom hits me right as I grab my shulker box and causes me to drop it on the ground. And then a lag spike happens right as I go to kill the creeper, and the creeper blew up my shulker box. But at least that box is empty, so I didn't actually lose anything. It was just a silly sequence of events. Time to head on home and work on things that are a little more useful. I'll try to get the hammer another day. There are many boats in my tunnel. I can't get through all of these boats. These youngsters leaving their skate boats lying around. Don't they know that someone could fall and break their neck on one of these darn old things? But I did upgrade my nether tunnel a little bit. I added some ice so that I can quick travel from the hub or the highway to my... Oh goodness, that was really scary. I almost fell through, and there's a lava lake directly underneath my tunnel, so that was rather terrifying. But anyway, I upgraded my tunnel so I can travel faster. Now it's time to work on a few more quality of life upgrades before I get to building. So last episode, I mentioned how my concrete converter won't let me run place concrete. And that's pretty sad, because the whole point of this design is to be faster than the cube makers. Any of those piston-based cube makers, the placement speed ends up being your bottleneck. So I figure that if I add a bunch of pistons, I can turn off the waterfalls, which should fix the rubber banding. Just gotta connect redstone to all of the pistons so that I can toggle the waterfalls on and off with a lever. That should bypass any sort of lag or rubber bandy nonsense and allow me to run place the concrete so that I can maximize placement time, then flick the lever to harden it all. Even better, I can repurpose this beacon and turn it into a speed beacon. I still have haste beacons, but the speed will allow me to place blocks even faster. So now I can run place rows of powder with the speed bonus from the beacons and end up hardening like 4 stacks of concrete in about 40 seconds. Just gotta place it all, flick the lever, and boom! We now have 4 stacks of hardened concrete ready to be harvested. And since I still have haste beacons up and running, it's still insta-mine as well. So this turned out pretty good. It gives me about 4 stacks of hardened concrete per minute. Another farm I've been wanting to add to my base is a pumpkin and melon farm. Now, this one is kind of expensive. Even though it is super duper simple, it requires a ton of observers and pistons. So that's the whole reason I went to the shopping district earlier to go and get a ton of redstone. Not only did I need 2 stacks of pistons to fix the concrete converter, but I needed a bunch of pistons and observers for this thing. And we're going to go ahead and add auto crafting for the melons, cause why not? Who wants to spend time condensing slices back into melons just to trade to farmers? And boom, looky there. We got slices now turning back into melons automatically. It might be a little thrown together, but that's okay. No longer will I have to trade thousands of carrots to my farmers just to get emeralds, because now, even with that teeny tiny pumpkin and melon farm, that will give me enough to max out the farmer trades every single day without lifting a finger. And these villagers aren't even cured yet. I always recommend curing your villagers right off the bat, but I haven't gotten around to it yet, and frankly, just that tiny pumpkin and melon farm is enough to get me infinite blocks and quartz and whatever else I need. I haven't even built a super smelter yet. I'm still just using this one furnace, just tossing in 2 buckets of lava to smelt the quartz that I need as I gather it. Now I have built this little quad furnace thing. I've even fully stocked it with lava in preparation for me needing to smelt stuff. I just haven't had stuff to smelt this time. Normally I just smelt like stone bricks and other random stuff all the time, but I haven't done that yet in this one, so I don't even really need a super smelter. And all this goes back to how powerful iron farm traders are. Not only do you get all of the villager trades from food, blocks, gear, enchantments, and just tons of stuff, but you also get the iron so that you can make beacons, so that you can make buckets and cauldrons for lava, so that you can make hoppers for storage systems and farms. Iron farm traders open so many doors. Now when it comes to my beacons, I like to bury them down at the bottom of the map so that I get haste down at the bottom when I'm mining for diamonds or mining deep slate, and I like to bury them 100 blocks apart so that they cover the entire area. Because the range of a beacon goes infinitely up, but only about 50 blocks around and below. So that's why I bury my beacons down at the bottom. Now I need a bunch of mushroom stems and mushroom blocks. So I got me some podzol that I can grow the giant mushrooms at any light level, but this is going to take me a while to get the amount of stems and blocks that I require. So I'm going to go ahead and make me a mushroom area where I can run through and bone meal a row of mushrooms and not have them grow so tall that I can't reach them. That way they're easy harvest with an axe. Now the problem with this is I need more mushrooms than this can provide, but I don't need like millions of mushrooms. So I don't see the point in building some mega mushroom farm when I can just go collect the amount that I need from a mushroom island. Now, it does look like someone has already picked this over, so this might be kind of difficult. And this is a good example of sometimes the farm just isn't worth it. If the farm would take you several hours to build, but you could collect the amount of items that you need in 10 minutes, well then, is the farm actually saving you any time? Some good examples of this is mushrooms, mud, and even wood. So just something to keep in mind, that sometimes the farm isn't actually faster than just gathering the stuff by hand. But if you didn't guess it in the last episode, the theme for my build in this competition is going to be Super Mario. Got most of the piranha plant built last time. He does still need some leaves and some other details, but I went ahead and kind of marked out the area with that pixel art of Mario's head. I needed something flat in the middle of it, so it seemed like a nice way to kind of tie it all together. Going back to the mushroom, it doesn't look very Mario-esque. The Mario mushrooms are more like a light bulb. They're kind of bulbous at the top. They don't have the open frills that some mushrooms have. So I need to redo this top part and try again and make it more rounded kind of thing. Let's see. Oh yeah, I like this much better. This looks way more like a Mario mushroom. However, I do think the Mario mushrooms are a little shorter on the bottom section. I think the bottom section is a lot tinier. So let's shave off the bottom of this mushroom, reshape it just a bit, and see if we can get it looking more like a Mario mushroom. And that's part of the fun, is trying to sculpt these objects using blocks to get them in the shape that you want them to be. And yeah, looky there, I do believe this is successful. It looks much more like a Mario mushroom now. All in all, I do believe the area is a-coming along. They do look very much like separate builds, but I'll try to tie them all together later on, once I get all of the basic structures in place. But the pixel art turned out really nice. It definitely looks like Mario. And oh wait, no, I'm in survival. Totally forgot. Popped my first totem on the world. Just like flying straight down at the ground, going like 400 miles an hour. We'll just pretend that didn't happen and use scaffolding to look at the pixel art this time. I'm really excited to see how this area ends up looking. You never know until it's done, even though I do have a few ideas and plans in mind. But that's all we got for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, share, and subscribe. Always remember that you are totally awesome, but above all, don't forget to have fun. Bye-bye.